What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And I don't know if you're anything like me and you like to afford stuff, but if you do like to afford stuff, if you do like to take your money and buy stuff with it, I got bad news for you, especially if you're into PC gaming or even just gaming in general. Basically, just to slap you in the face with all the information, prices are going up. Okay, and it seems like that's what always happens with everything. Prices are going up, but this is not a natural price increase that you might expect out of a normal economy. This is a price spike, especially in gaming and specifically PCs and specifically RAM sticks or just storage units in general, like SSDs or external hard drives or even thumb drives. And I've known about this for a few months, but it is just surging right now. It is actually getting out of hand. The price of RAM has not doubled. If the price of your RAM sticks that you want or have has doubled, you're lucky that it's only doubled. Some have tripled, some have quadrupled, some have even septupled. I don't even know if that's a word. I think that's the word for multiplying 5 or even 6 times in price. And it's not even a joke. You can just look up the part, like if you have a PC, just look up the parts. Specifically, look at your RAM sticks, see if they went up, or just search up RAM sticks, or look at graphs. And dude, it is literally surging sky high. It's going so high. And I remember looking, I don't know exactly the prices anymore, but about a month ago, I looked at some RAM sticks and they were almost $1,000 for RAM that was not even that good. It was maybe like 120 gigs total. Yeah, I'm sorry to inform you, but if you had a dream of buying a PC anytime soon, you might want to look at your budget and fucking expand that by at least 3 times if you want to comfortably afford something that's gonna get you by and you're actually gonna enjoy. Now, if you got in early like me, I probably bought my new PC, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, a little bit before these prices started to really spike. So I got unlucky and I looked at some of the parts for my PC recently and like they were worth fucking 3 times as much as they were. And I don't mean to come on here and just complain and bitch about the prices. Like, I know I'm broke, okay? I don't have a lot of money, but I don't think anyone should be happy to see that the average price for specifically gaming is just going up. Xbox prices are going up. I think last year, or I don't know, whatever it was, they increased the price of Xboxes 2 times throughout the entire year. Like, how are you going to release an Xbox and then increase the price 2 times over? And it's like, if you didn't get one by now, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I would say maybe wait for it to dip back down to affordability, but that might be bad advice because it might just keep going up. So it's really a gamble if you want to fucking game today. And like I said, if you already have stuff, you're probably good. If you have extra RAM sticks laying around, they might have, they might have doubled or tripled in price. So sorry, I'm like over here looking at my RAM sticks on the side that I'm not using. It might be worth selling them now, honestly, or maybe just, I don't know, look at it. There's still some good deals you can find, but honestly, it's probably just going to keep going up. And the problem is AI data centers, actually, they're hogging RAM, they're hogging SSDs specifically, but it's just something to be on the lookout for. The barrier to entry to playing games have never been higher. It's literally never been higher. And you got to pour all this money into an Xbox or to a PC or a PlayStation, whatever, however you want to game. And then you got to pay $70 for a title, $80 for a title, or subscribe to a subscription that they're increasing. Like the Xbox subscriptions going up. Everything's just going up. And honestly, the only real advice I can tell you is to stack your money up, bro. Because if you're not, gaming might be out of your hobby price range. It's literally getting to that point. I would say it's almost getting to the point where it's not even worth it. You're getting extracted out of all your money, and at the end of the day, gaming is not even something that productive. It's something that eventually, I think if it keeps going up in prices, people are just going to check out completely and be like, all right, why would I game when I could actually just go do real stuff that doesn't cost all this money, that doesn't take my wallet and completely break it or invade your bank account. But yeah, AI data centers, seriously, it's what is powering these AI chatbots, all the AI footage, just all these data centers. They're hogging RAM, they're hogging SSDs. That's one of the big reasons the prices are going up. Besides that, I don't know if there's natural supply chain issues or anything like that, but I think the agreed upon theory is that pretty much, not even really a theory, is that just, yeah, data centers. AI data centers are stealing all the RAM, all the stuff. And so I guess, high demand and not enough supply is just going to equal what we're seeing right now is a bunch of money, or at least these RAM sticks are costing a bunch more money than they should. And if you're unlucky enough to have an AI data center built near your house, you can literally expect your electricity bill to go up. Isn't that insane that your electricity bill can just go up, or they can literally send you a piece of mail in your mailbox and you can look at it and it's them telling you to try and be a little bit more thoughtful about your use of electricity. Try to leave your lights off when you leave the house. Like all this stuff, stuff that you should already do, but now they're like informing you to, oh yeah, let's try not to use all the electricity because this AI data center down here, down the street needs it. It's literally, it feels so dystopian almost. Like we're having to pay extra money for electricity because they want to make AI videos down the street. Like it's just crazy. And I have my own theories, but I feel like, especially in America, most people are starting to wake up and realize kind of what's going on around them. And probably because everything is just costing more. Normally, whenever you can afford your life and you can just live a good life without having to worry about, really anything else outside of you, then you don't really care what's going on. But as soon as your life starts to become more expensive and it starts to be worse off because you're having to manage your money more than ever and you have to worry about every little purchase you make because everything's so expensive and you have to worry about paying your bills, and whenever more and more people are hanging on by a thread, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and then people start to look around like, what's happening, and then they start looking around them and they're like, wow, okay, well, there's a lot of corruption going on, there's a lot of AI data centers being built around me. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Where's all my money going? Why can't I afford anything? And that's when people start to look around and be like, okay, this is getting out of hand. But yeah, I want to talk about RAM again. I'm not even exaggerating. The price of RAM for certain sticks have literally septupled like 5 times, 6 times. And dude, that is insane. Imagine if the price of your food quadrupled tomorrow. Imagine if a $300 desk that you were looking at, or a $200 couch or whatever, imagine if that just quadrupled tomorrow, or even duplicated. Duplicated is bad enough. Imagine if $200 RAM sticks you were looking at are $400 tomorrow. That's crazy. But what if the $200 RAM sticks you were looking at, and give it a month's time, it is now worth $800. It's like, what do you even do? Do you buy it now before it's, $1,000 and, next month, or do you wait for it to go back down? But, the sad thing is when prices go up, usually they don't really come back down, because when they see people start buying it for the price it's set at and they're still making money, they don't care. They don't want to make it available to you. They just want to get as much money as they can. And sorry, if you get left out of the gaming community because you can't afford it, then that's tough. They are literally looking at decreasing the amount of RAM in the next iPhones just to save cost prices. Like, dude, it's just getting out of hand. I don't even know, where else to go with this. What do I even talk about? I don't mean to be one of those guys that come out here and make a YouTube video, but the prices are getting too much. We can't afford anything. But like, seriously, dude, the average person is having trouble now buying RAM sticks because it's insane. If you were to buy one right now, you would almost be insane. But then you might, I don't know, you could be smart, because give it, maybe a year's time, where are we going to be at? Give it 5 years time, where are we going to be at? Is RAM just going to go off the charts, and RAM is like some foreign object you can never get your hands on? Like, you got to get it on the black market. I have 2 gaming PCs, and I think honestly I'm lucky I got in when I did. And the only reason I have 2 is because I'm living between 2 houses right now. And yeah, let's not talk about my life decisions, but I think the best decision was just buying it when I did. If I would have waited, then I don't know what I would be doing right now. If you have a PC or really anything that has a piece of RAM in it, or any storage like a SSD or a hard drive, anything that has just memory storage, anything like that, it used to just be like, okay, that's just some storage I have in my PC or in my Xbox. But now when I look over on my PC and I see my RAM sticks, I don't just see normal RAM sticks. I feel like I'm looking at gold right now. This literally, they're like shining out compared to everything else on my PC. Those right there are worth gold. And if those were to crap out and I don't know, if my RAM sticks break, I'm going to have to spend what, $200-$400 just for the same amount of gigs of RAM I have right there. It's actually insane. And like I said, I don't know, I feel like people are just going to start checking out of it. They're like, okay, they're just going to take a look at the price, especially for PC gaming. The prices are just going off the charts. And if you start looking at it, it's like, is it even worth it? What is even the point anymore? Do I really want to spend a third of the cost of the PC on RAM sticks? That just doesn't even sound real. But yeah, if you're looking around and you're feeling like everything is just too expensive, don't worry, bro. You're not alone. This is how a lot of people feel. And honestly, I would argue mostly Gen Z, because if you are, above that generation and you made it out good with the house, like my parents did, they got into the housing market before it spiked in price. And now that the housing is spiking as well, and I don't mean to go and talk about housing. This was mostly about RAM sticks, but we're done with that. We're about to come to a closing. But yeah, basically Gen Z, we're looking at houses and looking at the housing prices is like just scary. It's like, what is Gen Z really going to do? I mean, when the average, I don't even want to get into it, bro, that just the average age of buying a house is going up every year. And it's crazy. And sorry, I could talk about this forever. So we're going to go and end this video. I really just wanted to tell you, watch out for the prices of RAM. It's getting a little crazy, and just be careful with what you're buying.